Namaste. Today I am going to talk about why astrology and remedial measure goes hand in hand. The main problem with astrology or any other art is human problem solving. The human problem solving is very important. If I go to a doctor, if the doctor diagnoses the problem and the doctor tries to tell that this is the problem and he tries to suggest some medicine and some change in routine, I would appreciate him. Same thing in astrology. People go to astrologers when they find it very difficult to solve the problem. When they find it absolutely very impossible to solve the problem. But when they go to an astrologer, they expect solutions for the problem. They expect solution as a remedial measures of the problem. So that is the very important attitude the client takes over. Now, there is nothing wrong in telling the important thing. If the time is good, you tell the time is good, you just relax and you enjoy the thing. Time is like a river. When the river flows positively, we don't have any problem. But when we are against the current of river, when the time is against us, we should suggest the remedial measure for people. Astrologers have got into this Western idea, what will happen. It is the grahas which determine. It's absolutely about fatality. Fatality is very different from karma. Karma means an action which is unskillful. According to the Buddhist term, karma means action that is unskillful. So, the horoscope shows the aura and the chakra position. It shows the various energies of the past life of the people across. So, that is the main issue which is stored across. Now, the scriptures never try to degenerate the willpower of the human being. They said the willpower has to be complementary used in the karma. Suppose somebody is putting on weight. They advise some suggestion and solution to lose the weight, which means people are not meant to suffer. This is one of the biggest problem with the astrologers. They say negativity has to be suffered, negativity has to be endured. There is nothing much you can do about your negativity. It is all fate. It is all about past life. Nothing can be done about it. No, it is absolutely wrong. It is a very tamasic way of practicing astrology. You kill a man's hope, you kill a man's faith, you kill a man's positive thinking, you kill a man's effort in solving the problem. So that is why the ancient elders in Tamil Nadu and in various parts of India developed various remedial measures. You have remedial measure which is based on Ramacharitmanas. You have remedial measure which is based on temple, lighting the lamp, doing Pitru Shraddham, doing the Graha Pravesam. Like that, there are variety of rituals which are being prescribed as a remedial measure. Now, this is used to overcome difficulties and problems. It is called upaya. Now, people like K.N. Rao who go on condemning about upaya have an extremist view. It is in Tamil, it is said like Vacha Kudini Saracha Motta. That is, either I will keep the hair like a wild beast, or I will not keep any hair, I will shave my head. It is an extreme viewpoint which is being suggested by the B.V. Raman group of astrologers. The main reason is there has to be a research, there has to be a growth, there has to be certain amount of failures which will happen in remedial measure. Who said failures will not happen in remedial measure? In medicines, there are areas which cannot be solved. For example, cancer. They have not perfected the medicine part of it. They are still trying. They are still trying in AIDS. So, remedial measure, taking examples of people whose problems have not been solved, is not at all a correct attitude. The ancient elders prescribed slokas, pujas, homas, and for example, gemstone, a variety of remedial measure is prescribed across. So the point is, all these people, they try to harp on the failure point. And failures are there in any sciences. Sachin Tendulkar does not bat 100% of the time. He scores only 50% of the time. So you have a problem with that particular thing across. The second problem is that of the remedial measures are all traditions which are coming from one generation to the other. So, obviously, some chaffing has to be done, some process has to be done to find out the correct remedial measure. Instead of condemning everybody that remedial measure is fake, fraud, this example I will tell you. There was a man who came to me and he told Rahu Dasha, I am going to have a problem. There are a lot of astrologers who have told I am going to have a problem. Now, please do tell me how to overcome the problem across. Now, I told him from Rahu, the fifth house is fifth house as Venus. So according to Bhrigu Nandinadi, the fifth and the ninth house will trigger luck. So let us do the Pada Puja for Mahalakshmi. He did the Pada Puja for Mahalakshmi. He triggered 250 crores worth of business. He became a multi-millionaire into his life across. So this is an example of a catastrophic negative prediction which has turned out to be positive using the remedial measure. There was another guy who came to me and he told, I'm having Venus Mars, my marriage is doomed across. I told him, please don't worry. Try to get married to the same girl again and again, year after year. It would be very, very helpful to you as a person. Now he asked me why. The logic is you will get married to different kind of ladies. Instead of that, trigger the marriage. It will be helpful to you. So you can, that problem person's marriage got solved. That problem in the marriage will get solved across if they are willing to do the remedial measure. For example, there was a lady who had a leg problem. We did the puja for Saturn. She has recovered and started walking. For people in the B.V. Raman group, Narasimha and all those people, they condemn the remedial measure because they are all past masters. They worship the past masters. They don't take astrology to another level. For every case of upaya failure, I can show you hundreds of cases which are successful across. So, please don't get carried away by astrologers who say it is impossible, there is nothing you can do, you have to endure it. It means they do not know anything about the remedial measure. Since there is not much of reference about the remedial measure, they keep talking like that. So don't waste your time. Don't believe them. Don't get lost. Your problem can be solved. It can be mitigated. It can be avoided. If suppose there is going to be a rain, you can keep an umbrella. Like that, the impact can be hugely mitigated across. So please understand that remedial measure is an important part of astrology. Remedial measure are an important fountainhead and source of astrology which is meant to heal problem. In my previous years, I also didn't believe in remedial measure. There's a guy who came and asked me, I know I'm going to have a bad time. How do you think I can solve it? No, there's no solution about it. That is all rubbish. You can use the Janma Nakshatra Puja, you can use the Janma Tithi Puja to overcome the difficulty. So if you have problem, if you have difficulty, please understand you can solve the problem with using a remedial measure.